Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, we talk about all things fandom and we talk about it in a positive way. If that's something that appeals to you, you know you've come to the right place. We're so happy to have you here today. And today, my friends, also happens to be Terrifying Tuesday, where we talk about all things horror. And today we have to talk about the cancellation of the Halloween TV series and what comes next. So let's jump right into it. Alright, so if you've been following the news, you know that there is this Halloween Michael Myers TV show that's supposed to be a thing. Well, apparently that got canceled. And I can't say I'm surprised, but then again, it is a little bit disappointing to think that it is canceled. Of course, I didn't want this to happen, but where does it go forward? Is there any news saying that this is going to go forward? Well, I'm glad to report that there actually is a bit of positive news about this. The news is apparently that the Halloween franchise will not go forward on TV, but will probably, more than likely, get life in movies once more. So I have to look at that as a plus, because I love the Halloween franchise. I love all of them, even the ones I didn't like that much. I really did find things that were fascinating about them. Everything from the originals to the Halloween H2O era to the time when you had Rob Zombie reboot it, all the way to the new trilogy of movies that we just got. And I found something to be excited about with each and every one of them. And I have to say that no matter what they do here, at least we're getting more Halloween. And that's kind of how it looks. It looks as though we are going to at least be getting more Halloween. So what exactly have they been saying? Alright, so it had been announced previously that Halloween was getting a TV show centered around Michael Myers that was going to be in the vein of the other TV shows with horror icons like Chucky. Then, of course, the Crystal Lake TV series we're supposed to be getting. However, the recent reports that are circulating say that they couldn't find a home for it. So they have pulled back on this entire thing and are now kind of reconsidering what they're doing, saying, could it happen someday? Absolutely. But as of right now, there is no Halloween television series moving forward. So what exactly is it that we're hearing? Well, it comes from, at least one of the sources it comes from is Horror Film News, which says the Halloween franchise may be about to gain a new life in theaters after announcing a television show back in 2023. Miramax decided to reorganize its plans and put the project on hold, opting for a new path for the saga's future. Now, the behind-the-scenes reports point to a cinematic reboot planned sometime in 2028, marking yet another reinvention of the universe created by John Carpenter all those years ago. The plot details at this point still remain under absolute secrecy, but the proposal is that they would start from scratch and present a fresh approach to the franchise. Now, with the former partnership between Miramax and Universal that ended after the Blumhouse trilogy, distribution of the new film may fall to Paramount, which currently maintains a strong strategic relationship with Miramax. And for now, of course, nothing has been confirmed. So that's what the sources are saying. That's what everybody's saying about this. And it's kind of an interesting thing. Now, the cool thing about this, though, is that we knew a new film was kind of coming. We all kind of have heard the rumors that in time for the anniversary, we would be getting the next Halloween, and that looks to be proving to be more and more true. So in that regard, I'm kind of glad, but you also have to look at it this way. if that is indeed the truth, is this going to be a direct reboot? Because making it a direct reboot may not be what the fans want. I'm all in favor of bringing in as many TV shows about your horror movies as we possibly can. But is it a healthy trend? Is it something that's going to maintain the audience's appreciation? Because ultimately, just because you can do something doesn't mean you should. And as much as I would like to see television shows that are continuous about every single one of our horror movie icons, very seldom does it work out to where these are actually worthwhile and have the staying power or the ability to actually make the fans happy. Chucky was arguably a good series, but then ultimately a lot of people didn't like it as well. So you have to get something that's going to entertain enough of the fans that it will continue. And Chucky's low ratings got it canceled apparently after season 3. Would this be any different? Would this possibly go on longer because Michael Myers is an icon? Is the Crystal Lake series going to go on longer because Jason is an icon? As far as we know so far, this is only a prequel series, this whole Crystal Lake TV series. And what's to stop that from falling into this trap of never giving us Jason? We've seen several times where things have been prequels to things and they never gave us the thing that we loved. I can point to a couple different TV shows that have done this in the past, even shows that have been sequels that didn't give us the actual thing we love, but it's kind of one of those things that, do they tell a new story or do they tell the story that fans are used to, and how well is it received? Because it's kind of a double-edged sword. But in the case of a Michael Myers TV series, a Halloween TV series, it would almost have to have Michael Myers in there. He was there in the beginning and he'll be there in the end. They could tell the story of that first Halloween in the very first season, but then after that, where do you go? They could tell the story of going back even farther in the history of the TV series, but eventually you have to get to Michael Myers and you have to get to where he is. And I feel the same way about the Crystal Lake TV series. Sure, they can make the first season about Pamela Voorhees, but the second season has got to have Jason. It has to have adult Jason running around doing what adult Jason does, and anything less isn't going to appease the fans. Ultimately, that's what we're looking at in this situation, and the fact that they couldn't get it off the ground may actually prove to be a good thing here, because Michael Myers, I think, performs better as a threat on screen for an hour, hour and a half to 2 hours, rather than seeing him every week. At what point do you say enough is enough on these shows about your favorite horror movie franchises? Are you excited about the fact that it could come back into theaters, and that it looks like it's going to come back into theaters during the time period that would be the anniversary of the Halloween franchise anyway? I'm super excited for that. But then also, here's the other thing about that. The idea that they're going to reboot it yet again doesn't really appeal to me, but will I go and see it and check it out and hope for the best? And yes, I'm going to do that every single time. And if it's an okay reboot, if they do it justice, I'll find a way to pop it into my official Halloween canon the way I always do. But ultimately, that's another question. Are you wanting a reboot? Or do you want them to just continue on from the existing universes that they already have? That's the question I pose to you guys. So make sure you're leaving me those comments in the comment box below. Make sure you share this video with all of your friends so they can be a part of our conversation as well. Just remember, we're all fans at the end of the day, so make sure we're all nice to each other. And if you like positive content, you know what to do. Go ahead and hit that like button and let that algorithm know that you want more people talking positive about the fandoms you love. It can't hurt, friends. It can only help. And if you like our channel personally, what are you waiting for? Hit that subscribe button and that notification bell right next to it so you never miss a single video we do. Because there are so many fandoms we have to talk about, and I can't wait to talk about each and every one of them with you. Because, friends, I know it and you know it. Fandom is family.